Hello, and welcome back to the channel. It's me, Archaeogamer, and today is a brand new video. It's not how I explain archaeology in like the periods or a gaming channel. That's when I go back to Dublin in Christmas, and I'll hopefully get a couple of content out then. Today's is a new type of concept of a video. It's a Reddit video, yay! So, as you can see, I found an archaeological memes page, so we're going to go through that. I'm also going to be calling you from now on my archaeos. Now, if you want me to change that or give me any suggestions, please leave a comment below, or either email, message me on Twitter or on Instagram, archaeogamer2020, and please leave a like and follow. So now we're just going to jump right into it, and we're going to go on to the memes. So I'm going to share the screen. Here we go, and we're going to jump right into it right now. So don't mess with genetics. Keeping the bloodlines pure. The pure bloodlines. Yes, that was just a really bad kind of reconstruction. It's made out of sandstone, so sandstone would have wears over time. So that's what it looked like before, and the face was completely gone. So they got it like supposed to be a reconstruct it from plaster, and it ended up absolutely screwing it. So yeah, that's really funny. And also that's what the kings and queens at the time periods would have done to try to keep it within the blood family, or with other families within like royalty as well. So that's really funny. So the contents of the British Museum, trashy. So I'm guessing that's just a trash place in the UK, or like a trash bin in the UK. What is something that feels British but isn't? And then Pierre Carey says the contents of the British Museum. Yeah, and that's really funny, because at the time, like museums at the time were all like little collective as they were called, or collectives, where they'll literally go, people all over the world will go around and collect things and put them on display and then charge people to go in. That's how museums actually started. So, and obviously a lot of things in the British Museum aren't British, because they went all over the world, trying to conquer and demand, like bringing stuff back from Africa, India, and all over the world. Even in Ireland, there's stuff from Ireland that's still in the British Museum that we don't get. So, yeah, so that's really funny. Another bone licking meme. Something I thought was bone me, and the cringe face. Yeah, like, as archaeologists as well in Ireland anyway, I don't know around the world, but in Ireland we really don't lick bone. With only things that we consider, it's called the taste test, but we only taste like stone or slag or iron, because iron has the similar context. Like slag is an off product of metal burning or metal work. So when they get the metal out, the slag at the bottom is kind of hard and corrodes, and it looks like stone. So it's a little bit heavier than stone, but you lick it just to see if it's iron. And then in stone, we'll kind of rub our fingers or like lick our tongue and rub it just to see if it's like cortex of like flint or shirt or any type of other stone that was used or worked as from human activity. So I've upvoted this one already because I had a couple of audio issues. So it's kind of just like I finally figured it out. Excuse me. So this also applies to dogs. Yeah, me, probably a bone, and he licks it. I like about that in any TV show or any kind of show or film that's any off references, you can always link it with archaeology. It's just really good and funny, so that's good. So Boba Fett. So yeah, the artifact in the museum, the artifact you find in the field. Yeah, like when it's out in artifacts displayed in the museum, they're all in controlled temperature environments. They're all being conserved really well. And like when we find it out in the field, it could be like mucky, it could be destroyed, like with iron, like it corrodes so much that you don't even know what it looks like. So when it goes into the conveyors, the conservators and stuff, or not the conveyors, the conservators, you can like literally just see what it may have looked like. Like they don't get it 100%, but they'll get it to what it originally looked like. And it could be like, I know a nail could be like that thick or like thicker than, like depending on the size of the nail, it could be thicker in corrosion than it actually would have been. So that's what happens in archaeology in the field, and then in the museums you can finally see it kind of conserved really well and stuff like that. So that's really good. This is the exact best way to express this. History is just the celebrity gossip of archaeology. More or less, like the saying goes, like the history was written by the winners. So like the Greeks and the Romans, like philosophies on life and stuff like that. That would be all kind of, and also their aspects on other cultures. So like they'll go to say like they came to England, they'll write about the English people and not even interact with them. They'll fight them or they'll take over their land, but they won't actually interact with them. So like they try to come over to Ireland. They had a one look at us, and we were just fighting against ourselves. Like kings from other counties were fighting against one another. And then if somebody new came in, we'll just be like, nope, we're not having that, and then we'll fight each other. So yeah, that's really really funny. And like same with a lot of places in all over the world. Like if somebody new came into your territory, you'll be fighting against them, whatever the way. Like the apex predator is here. Oops, sorry, animal. Looks like I learned how to frickin' throw a rock. Guess your entire evolutionary arms race is just effed up. This is my planet now. Yeah, well, as humans, we always spec everything up when we were evolving and our brain capacities grew. Excuse me. We were getting more complex as individuals, and as a group, we were evolving as that. So when they started throwing rocks, they could figure out that rocks were able to, kill for food, basically, and that's how it changed it all. I love this one, actually. I'm going to upvote this one as well. Upvote that. So, go back down. So when you spend 7 hours in the field and the only single lithic fragment you find ain't much, but it's on its work. Yeah, that's really it. Like there about 2 or 3 weeks ago when I'm on the dig now in Kerry, obviously you know that. But yeah, we were in the field for about 7 hours, or near enough to about 6 to 7 hours, and I pulled up a small lithic fragment of flint now, and it was the only one thing. We were starting in a new section, so we were like, yeah, we have to get this done. So yeah, it was just we're starting a new section, and then we were when you find something in different stages, when I go through it in another video, which is after geophysics, that's the next video coming after this one. It's like you come in, we do like a little test trench, and we kind of cover what we find as archaeology in that stage with like it's like plastic, but it's kind of breathable plastic, so it doesn't harm the environment. Like it's really really good. I can't remember what the exact name of it is. I get the exact name when I'm doing the video, but yeah, so we'll cover that up, and then when we come back for it, we can know that okay, this is what they found, what's around it, and that's what kind of happened. But when we're pulling back a part of that breathable plastic, me and another colleague of mine were cleaning back, and I looked down, and all of a sudden I found it, and I was like, oh my god. So I ran over to our boss, and I was like, look what I found. And it actually ended up being worked, so that's really really good for us. Like it was like, oh my god, we actually found something that was worked, so that's really really good. Field skills are mostly just finding something and asking, is it a thing? Something that isn't a rock. Me, yes, and all the other field students, yeah. That's basically it. Like even on volunteering schemes and field skills games, or even like kind of research digs, if you have people that are not inexperienced, but like are people that are learning how to dig, and you think you find something, like I spent 90% of my time definitely in Swords Castle, and in the other couple of digs, like in the Knoll with the grave dig, and then obviously Germana as well out in Loch Shinny. It was always just like, is this something? And it always ended up being stone. But when you find something that's not stone, or that it is stone but it's work stone or metal or stone structure, or like kind of post holes and stake holes, then you get really excited. You're like, yes, I found something, and it's really really good. Like one of the several stories about how the site may have been damaged. Oh boy, I sure do love being a giant sphinx with a nose in 1378. Hey, why is that Arab dude with a turban running towards me with a hammer? Yeah, so like a lot of things, like when Tutankhamun's tomb was found, then all of a sudden, like for kind of people that were kind of gold digger, like kind of treasure hunters and all that kind of stuff. They gain attention to these places, and obviously, like a sphinx was a big, massive carving of a cat out in the right beside the Great Pyramids, and people were like destroying it just to take stuff and say, oh, this is from the Sphinx, like, this is really, really cool. And yeah, people do that a lot. Like even when like even on sites, like when we can't announce where we are on sites, like until after the fact, like because we don't want anybody with like metal detecting, because metal detecting in Ireland is illegal anyway. But like especially when there's archaeology involved, people think, oh, I'm going to go in with the metal detector, start going around trying to look for the archaeology, the real precious things, and just destroy the stratigraphy of what it is. And stratigraphy is really important in archaeology, and I'll go through it. Like it's easy to go through it by showing you. I can't explain. Well, I can't explain, but it'll be confusing. But when I have a picture involved, I can tell you, like I can draw something for you. I'll tell you what it means. Like so, that round stuff like the Tower Brooch was found on the beach, many years ago, like a couple of hundred, like I think about it could be over about maybe 40 or 50 years ago now, or I found in the field, and your man just kind of said, oh, I found it with a metal detector. So that lost the story of how the Tower Brooch was found. It loses the context in which like it's found. So that's what I mean. So like kind of like Indiana Jones and like these type, like, and kind of grave robbers and tomb raiders and all this kind of stuff, like they like put a very bad damper on archaeology and very bad kind of reputation for archaeology as well. And that's why a lot of people kind of, when you hear archaeology, they like, in Ireland it's kind of a different story, because like farmers it's not like they don't like archaeologists, it just causes them hassle, and they don't respect kind of the way of life in country life, like, so like leaving the gates open when they should close them, kind of like stuff like that, and it just causes hassle for them. But if you kind of go up to them and explain to you, like, look, I'm like, there's a castle just down here called Monara Castle, and people live right beside it, and I say they're the stewards, so that means like they take care of the place. Like if you go up to them and say, look, I'm an archaeologist, I respect, like, how things are done, like I'll close the gate after myself, I won't be messing, you can just explain to them and talk to them. Like if you just talk to them nicely as a human, instead of saying, oh, there's archaeology on your land, you can't do this, you can't do that, you have to kind of respect them. So just that thing, like, it's a whole different, it could be a video in itself, so I'll just stop talking about it now. I'm going to upvote this one because I saw this one before. I shared this in my group chat with my friends in college, and also other people that I know, is when you haven't dug in a while and your fingers would remember their old strength better than when they grasped the trail. Yeah, so King Tiernan and Gandalf the White coming to get him, come back, and like, it's really, really funny, because especially in these times in 2020 where people, like, archaeology has slowed down a bit because of other stuff. Like if like I'm on a road scheme, so a road scheme has to go ahead anyway, but it was delayed because of 2020 and COVID-19 and everything in the construction industry shut down. So if you haven't grasped or held the trail in, like, 6 or 7 weeks, especially for me, I haven't held it in a year or half a year, it's kind of like you have to get back to normal and how to get in trail, like how to scoop back, like trailing back soil and stuff. So yeah, it's really funny, and that's how trails actually look like after a couple of weeks on site. Like mine's getting really well. It's actually not too bad, but like you could have them for like the same one for like 3 or 4 years and it'll be absolutely destroyed, but it still does the job. Like, oh yeah, this is a church in Africa made out of completely, like, carved out of stone, but instead of lifting the stone out, they left the stone in and they built the church around. So do you want to go to church? No thanks, not after what he's did all over the world and in the 1990s anyway. Yeah, this is the other one, the trail one, and this one is what I shared. I'm going to upload this one. Is Queen, it's like, this is marginally funny. Is it butter? No, it's Stonehenge. I can't believe it's not butter. Like, it's just, yeah, theories go around, or yeah, your theory could be, you have a theory on a certain topic, like Stonehenge or something like that, and you could say, oh, I think it's this type of monument, and then somebody else will say, no, I think it's this type of monument. So you have no actual evidence. Like, your theories could be 100% accurate or right, or in your mind it's right, but you have no, like, if you look on documentary sources and you kind of build up your case, but you can never be 100% accurate because we don't know, because the people that built them are gone thousands of years, and you don't know what that purpose of the site is built. And even in housing, like for their houses, you don't know, like if it's you don't know if there's a couple of graves, like you can't say, oh, it's a cemetery, because it could be completely misunderstood, or misrepresentation, like if only a certain percentage of the people are there, whereas the rest of them, and it's kind of like, it's a kind of a, your theories go back and forth, like there's 3 possibilities, there could be about 10 or 20, just depending on what it is, so it's really, really funny. So the last 2 of the day, this is modern market home renovation surprise. Yeah, I had the exact same stuff on my wall when my sister, before I moved into my new room. I was living in a smaller room, and then I moved into this room, and then my sister wanted to move back. Or there was a kind of a family thing, so I had to move back into my old box room, and my sister was living in that room. And yeah, I had the exact same wallpaper, and I think about 5 or 6 years ago, she got rid of it all. She decided she wanted to paint it again, but took everything out and literally was like, there you go, like look, and it was literally there since 1994 or 1995, kind of. So nearly 20 years, at least 20 years anyway, because we just re-wallpapered over it, and she had her own stuff then, and then she took that off and then repainted it, or painted over the wallpaper. Like, it's just it's really, really funny. Yeah, so that's that. And the last one of today, what people think archaeology looks like, what it actually looks like. Oh my god, the big PP jug of destiny. Let's get this onto maybe Lawai or something, or for PewDiePie to see this. Yeah, like that's what it is. Archaeology, like, you think it's all the gold stuff, the fancy stuff, like the crystal skull, gold skulls, or gold objects, and maybe the small 5% of the time it could be that, like especially in Ireland, where you could be digging a drain and you could find gold stuff pure by accident, like last year in Donegal. But realistically, it's like finding pots, not people, like skeletons, houses, like a long list of other stuff. It's not just the gold stuff. So yeah, that's really, really funny. And that's the end of the show today. So if you like this video and you think I should do more of it, please leave likes for other Reddit videos that you want me to see, or Reddit pages you want me to look at. I'll go through. Hopefully this is a new concept, so I won't just do archaeology. I'll do a couple of others, like oddly satisfying if you want, or other like TV shows, anything you want. Yeah, and that's really it. So thank you for watching, and peace. Leave a like and subscribe.